at a young age. I think I was about 16. I got arrested for a robbery, and at 16 I got arrested for a grand theft auto. Then at 17 I got arrested for a burglary. Um, and then it really took for those things to happen, and my OG, who's still my OG to this day, to pull me up and say, "Yo, bro, listen, you gonna this ain't gonna last." So he really schooled me on that robbery shit. Like, yo, bro, you gonna have enemies for life. Niggas gonna push your shit, all that
Yeah.
type of shit, right? So,
If I could just stop you for a second,
mhm,
before you continue. Like when I think about that, what you're saying, I remember I grew up in the Bronx. So I grew up kind of really in the Bronx and Harlem.
mhm,
I used to be back and forth as a young teenager. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
14, 15, going to the rooftop, going to
right, okay,
SNS, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Going
yeah,
to Willie's, hanging out in front of Willie's, and you know what I mean? Then we shoot to the skating rink called the rink
right,
in Jersey, come
yeah,
back. You know what I'm saying? And I used to do that a lot. And I'm trying to remember now in my hood, on the block, like I was inspired by all the older dudes. I never had none of them. I can speak for
mm,
myself.
right,
I never had none of them to pull me up. And I always ask this question, like, to everybody that come on and talk with me. Like, did you have anybody that was a positive influence in your life? You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
I never had the positive influence, but I always tell this too. I did have a brother that left the block. His family left the block when we was all getting money, and
mhm,
he came back Muslim. And he
mm,
came back and he used to tell us, "Yo, this is wrong, man. What y'all doing?" You know what I mean? It got so heavy that when he came around, we went and hid in the building
right,
until he
right,
left.
right.
Nah,
They
we
didn't
ain't
want to
trying
hear
to
that
hear
shit.
this.
Yeah, yeah,
We out of here. But that was that positive influence the only thing I could remember. So when you say that, like, that's good that you had some older brothers that was trying to, you know what I'm saying, pull you
yeah,
up on stuff,
yo,
because I didn't get that. All I got was, here, take this, and
right, and
80, 84, 85, that was the first time I went to DC and then
right, okay,
Baltimore. You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
With the older
right.
dudes from the block.
So
Go ahead.
E, to your point, bro, that's all 100% facts, right? Because what the older dudes do was they used us, they manipulated us, right? We was the pawns, right? And I had that too, right? But just one brother, two, but definitely one brother who
Yeah.
I really looked up to, and he's still around. He lived down south right now. He's in North Carolina, right?
Nice.
He was like my mentor, and you know, it's crazy because even as you were speaking just now, I'm remembering, like, my mom's ain't want me selling drugs, of course, like any other mother, right? But I do remember my mom, like, I kind of enabling in a way, right? Because she knew, like, I was gonna do it anyway,
Anyway,
but
yep.
then my mom specifically told him, like, yo, take care of my boy. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, like, she knew I was outside already, and she knew I was gonna do what I was gonna do, and it wasn't in. I wasn't like, me and my mom's had my run-ins, but our run-ins, but it wasn't like I still was. That's mom. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So, the fact that I knew she said that to this person meant that she trusted him, and and he schooled me, bro. He schooled me, like, and we was doing wrong because he was outside and he was selling drugs,
No
but he
question.
schooled me, and he really schooled me to the game in
Yeah.
so many ways, like, how to move, and how to give back, which I still to this day do. Like, yo, bro, like, we out here doing wrong, but you got to do right in more ways. So it was the things like that
Nice.
that I was learning from this brother. You know what I'm saying? And he was just so smooth. He was a lovable dude. Well, still is a lovable dude. And I just gained so much from just being around him and shit. You know what I mean? And prior to me getting with him, like I'm gonna just backtrack just a little bit. I was like I wanted to be I wanted to be involved, right? Like I said, I'm going outside, and I had my moments when I tried certain things and didn't work out. So I was fucking with certain niggas, those guys that we talking about that was using us,
Yeah.
and that ain't really work out for me. I remember like yesterday, right? Me and G-Dep, rapper G-Dep, right? That's one of my childhood friends. We grew up together, and us two really saying, yo, because we played ball together. We from the same project. We went to the boys club together. Like this is my guy. Um,
Yeah.
we trying to figure out like, yo, where we gonna go to get some work, you know what I'm saying, to get some packs,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we want us. So again, we all over the place. We going uptown because he had people uptown. We going to Dykeman, we going to the Bronx. I got family from 183rd. So we all over the place just trying to figure it out. And then come back home and it's right there. Like my man just took me under the wing. And then kind of like the rest was history. And then, of course I branched off and started doing my own thing. But that part of my upbringing still means the world to me because I learned so much, and I still hold on to a lot of that shit to this day. And then what I did was when I was really got into the mix, I did the same for people that came up under me. You know what I'm saying? And I was one
Absolutely.
of those dudes that really like put on the streets, and even now outside, that I'm not in the streets, doing a lot of legal shit. I made sure niggas knew what they was doing and how to do it, and and be as safe as possible, and always make sure that that same thing, like, yo, we doing wrong, but you got to always do twice as right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, that's your blessing too, because I look at, we gonna get off into, the prison system and how we,
Hmm.
how we went in there and navigated that and everything. But I look at this was survival for us.
Yeah, bro.
All of us have similar backgrounds. When you
Yeah,
said, the brother is in North Carolina, and that's the same brother, he's still alive. That's the brother I'm telling you about, the Muslim brother, my brother Skip, that used to, you know what I'm saying, come through. I talked to him today, to this day, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Since I
yeah.
came home, I got back in touch with him, and he living in North Carolina, doing good with his family. But yeah, like our stories be so connected, man. Like
Absolutely.
coming out of any hood anywhere, because
Yeah.
I done heard
It's the shit.
stories from Missouri to Utah to Houston, North Carolina. The hood is really the hood where
It's all
we,
the same.
and a
Yeah,
lot of us grow up the same,
fact.
and that's why I said, for people like you and I, we kind of we have the best of both worlds
Yeah,
now, that
yeah.
our growth and development took its place, took its rightful place, from our youth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like a lot of people, they don't understand, the two lives that we live,
Right.
and able to be successful, be
Mm-hmm.
alive to tell what we, tell that story. And we know
Yeah.
that us being alive right now to tell that story from our youth, coming from where we came from, is a blessing. Because a
Fact, yo.
lot of, I know you, without even talking about it, I know you have
Yeah.
a lot of brothers, sisters that's not living today,
Oh, for
from
sure.
that
For
street life,
sure. For
and
sure.
that's how all of us, and so even around me, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's, and it's a small world. It's a small
Yeah.
world
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So
Yo,
like if you could, because I grew up in that 80s era,
mm-hmm.
71 baby,
Right
80,
behind you. I'm
84
72,
came
bro.
out. No,
I'm
know what I'm saying? Came out the
72.
house at I
Mm-hmm.
came out the house at 84.
Right.
I'm talking about, I came out at 82, but 84 is when I just started, you know what I'm saying? Head first,
Yes. Yes.
and being out of town, going out of town to sell drugs, going down to Wall Street, because it was more money. The $5 bag was now $30 if you put it in a sandwich bag and roll it. You know what I mean? You sell
Yeah.
it to the
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
down there for $30. So I was all about that. I was fortunate never to do drugs, but I was addicted to materialism. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
bro.
And that took a hold on me like no other. But like
Yeah,
I said, I wouldn't change it for the world, because that made me who I am today. You know
right.
what I'm saying? In that game, being
Hmm.
able to learn math, knowing I was smart but didn't care about going to school. So this allowed me to, when I came to prison, to build my portfolio for me, my taking that introspection. So when was it like your first time going to prison, and how was that experience for you?
Wow. So
Well,
damn,
not even prison, to jail.
yeah,
I'm talking about Rikers Island, or
you
wherever it
just said
was.
so much, man. And yo, that best of both worlds shit, just like
That's serious.
yeah, it's serious. And as you was just talking, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna definitely answer your question. Like as you was
Okay.
just speaking, like I was thinking about the struggles, how challenging it was for me to really make this leap and start really just like making that transition to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, salute to you too, bro. Like
That's
I
full-time
know it
job.
ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? And then that
That's right.
addiction, like people don't realize, like this shit's an addiction. Like this a lifestyle is an addiction. You know what I'm saying? Materialistic things is an addiction, and people don't realize it,
No
right?
doubt.
And I still to this day have some addictions and some flaws, right? But I just know that, you know what I'm saying, I can't do certain things anymore at this point in my life, bro. So yeah, you just said a
Nice.
lot, man. That's real shit, bro. But yo, so the incarceration, right? For me, like I went to jail in 98, right? I was sentenced to a 3.5 to 7. And for me, for one, first and foremost, I was fortunate, right? Because I was able to do that shock program shit. So I didn't really do much time in jail, right?
Yeah.
But not only that, I was so
Back
strong
then it
at
was
the
six
time.
months. That
Yeah,
shot
yeah,
program
yeah,
gave you
yeah. The
6
6 months
months,
shot
and you're
program,
able to
right,
go before the
right.
board or whatever, and
Exactly,
paperwork,
exactly.
and you
Yeah,
got a chance to go home early.
yeah, early. So I think out of that 3.5 to 7, I probably did like a little over a year, about a year and a half, something like that. But I was at that time I was really strong in the streets, and ain't nothing stopped. Like, and especially in that short amount of time, like I was still getting money, like while I was away. Like I was still taking care of people while I was away. I was taking care of my mom, I was taking care of my girl. I was still had niggas stacking bread for me. So nothing stopped at all. And then it's like when I came home, of course, I was back in it because I never really left it. It's just that now I'm back on the scene. So
Yeah.
that first real bid really did absolutely nothing for me, you know what I'm saying? And then I was able, like I said, I was able to get the shock program, even though that shit was stressful. I was like, man, I'm getting back outside. Like I'm gonna do this physical training shit. I'm gonna take this yelling shit, mind over matter, and I'm getting right back outside. I'm getting right back to the money. So that first bid really did nothing for me. And then yeah, I was right back like I never left. You know what I'm
Did
saying?
you
So
ever have probation before you
so
actually did the? You
I,
know what
I
I mean?
did, I did, I did.
Because
I actually did. I had probation before I did that. I got sentenced to that 3.5 to 7, and that's why I had actually got the 3.5 to 7 because I had probation first. And the probation, we know the system, whatever we gonna call it, the
that's
criminal
why I
justice
mentioned
system,
it.
the injustice system.
That's why I
Thank
mentioned
you,
it,
bro.
because it's a systematic
Yeah,
flaw and
yeah, absolutely,
destruction
bro.
against us.
It
It
is.
is.
So just going like just now, you just made me remember like going back to that. Like I had got arrested for some shit that I really didn't do, but police know who's who and who's doing what, and they put a charge on me, lied and everything, and my ass, I'm still young, and I'm like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna just take the probation. I ain't spending no money for no lawyers, and even though I did, right, and I still took the probation, which was a trap off, right,
Mhm.
and took that probation, and then I think like about a year later, I got caught up again, and then that's when I took that 3.5 to 7.
Same
And
story, man. Like
yeah, bro, that
that's how
probation shit
that's
ain't
how
no
it
joke.
goes.